to Ruth Rendely, who's here to talk about her experience with the Seraphim. So, round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm so glad to be here in London, launching both my book, Seraphim Blueprint, and the system, Seraphim Blueprint, which the book is named after. You're very lucky to be in the presence of a very high angel, a seraph of the Seraphim. I know a lot of people don't know what Seraphim are. They're the highest order of angels according to the Judaic-Christian tradition. I was not aware of any of this 24 years ago when I was living in Berkeley, California, and I had a small white stone that had been, an egg-shaped stone that had been given to me by a school actually in Yeovil, Somerset, England. The school existed between 1985 to 1990, and it was a mystical school of some sort. I was based at that time, I was teaching university in Tokyo, Japan, and the school was introduced to me by someone I met, an American I met in Tokyo. It was a very intriguing school. It wasn't specifically spiritual. It was more based on health, improving one's health, and it provided me with a small stone they called an opener. I don't travel with that stone anymore. It's very precious to me, so it's at my home in North Carolina. But they also provided me with a pendulum, and by 1989, I met the school and dealt with the school in late 1987, and by 1989, I was becoming very proficient in using a pendulum as a psychic device. I'm not clairvoyant, I'm not clairaudient, but I am clairsentient, which a pendulum is very useful in those terms. So by 1989, I was quite psychic, and I moved home from Tokyo, Japan to Sydney, Australia. I was based there for about 3 years, and then I returned to the United States. My original home is America. And I had this white, very small egg-shaped stone. It's about 1 inch long. And it vibrated in my hand, and I had no idea why the stone was vibrating way after the school in Yeovil, Somerset, England closed. So when the school closed down, I was expecting all energies from the school to end as well. But for whatever reason, the stone was vibrating, and I couldn't hold it for more than about 5 minutes at the time. So I wondered about that, and I went home I ended up staying in Berkeley, California, living there from 93, 94, until 2001. And I was always looking for, well, why is this energy still being emitted by this stone? I was told by my spirit guides that it was related to Atlantis. That's all they would impart to me. They didn't tell me anything else. So I was curious, and Berkeley, California is pretty much the heart of the New Age movement in the United States of America, if not the world. And therefore, I was looking around for somebody to tell me more about the connections. And such a person appeared. He announced in a newspaper, a local newspaper, that he was giving a crystal healing workshop, and he was giving a free introduction to that crystal healing workshop. So I went to it thinking it might be related to Atlantis, and he gave us all crystals to hold in our hands, and then standing in the front of the room like I am with this group, he was able to change the energy of the crystal in each of our hands, and that was so fantastic. I was so amazed. Here he is standing in front of the room, and the energy was changing like that. So he had a break in the experience, and in that break I went up to him. I got brave and I went up to him. He had previously been a professor of mathematics at the University of California, a state university in San Francisco. And so I asked him, I said, I have a stone at home. I didn't bring the stone with me. I have it at home. And I wondered if there's a connection to Atlantis. And he was shorter than I am. And so standing in front of him, he was looking up at me, but then above my head and behind me. And I thought, what's that? I mean, he didn't answer me right away. And he said to me, there's this huge angel standing behind you, and he's telling me that you and I need to